15 years ago, a great Steeler, in whose symbolic shadow we stand today, he quarterbacked Pittsburgh to a Super Bowl win. This momentous victory came as a great beacon of light to millions of Yinzers who feared winning was finished after Cowher quit. It came as a joyous daybreak. We can still win. And we did win. But 15 years later, we have not won again. 15 years later, the Steelers are shackled by an outdated philosophy and narcissistic megalomania. 15 years later, and the Steelers haven't won a playoff game in the last 7 of those. 15 years later, and the Steelers have been marginalized and mediocre and melted down to black and gold diarrhea. In a sense, we stand here today ready to collect a debt, a promissory note to which every Yinzer has a right, a promise to be better than this, a promise to not be in the mushy middle, a promise that George Pickens should shut the frig up. Mike Tomlin has defaulted on this promissory note. It has come back marked insufficient funds. But I refuse to believe the Bank of Rooney is bankrupt. Cash Tomlin out. Pay somebody else. Embrace the fierce urgency of now. No more the tranquil drug of gradualism. Just make the playoffs and hope. Now is the time to make real the promise of Chuck Noll. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of how bad Kenny Pickett is. Now is the time to lift Steeler Nation from the quicksand of a defense that soils the bed in every playoff game. Now is the time to make change reality. So even though we sit here eliminated and humiliated, I have a dream. I have a dream that Mike Tomlin walks off that podium and just keeps walking. I have a dream that a coaching staff will be assembled by quality and not cronyism and lowest common denominator. I have a dream of scoring more and faster. I have a dream that Art Rooney, too, will wake up one day and be an owner, not a mark. I have a dream today. I have a dream that I will host a Super Bowl party, and there will be a chili bar with all the fixins, and we will see it together. This is my hope. This is my faith, as I express to Batch and King on the postgame show. With this faith, the jangling discords will become a joyous refrain of renegade. With this faith, they might finally draft a center. With this faith, Minka will get a takeaway. With this faith, Pickett will not start. Rudolph will not start. And the Steelers will somehow get their next great quarterback. If the Steelers are to become great yet again, this must become true. Eggs must be broken. Omelets must be made. There must be a great exodus, and it must start with the coach. This isn't about black and white, or Mr. Rooney's rule, or tradition and loyalty, or he could get another job someplace else right away, or who are you going to get that's better? Because we have got somebody better. We did get somebody better. And that somebody was once Mike Tomlin. But now it's time for that next somebody. And when the Steelers find that next somebody and ascend that stairway to 7, and we will be able to speed up that day when everyone in what is now the city of mediocrity, from the heights of Mount Washington to the trailer parks of Little Washington, from the blue tents on the North Shore to the homeless bathing in the fountain at the Point, from the paddle wheel of the Gateway Clipper to the lowest, gotch-eyed, meth-snorting stripper, we will be able to join hands and sing the long-awaited spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we have a new coach at last."